And welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that duct tape. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Shelby one. I didn't have it ready. It was a different one completely. But there was some great clips from times gone by. And now, Cristiano, we're here. We made it. This is the grand finals.
Oh, yes, indeed. This is one of the greatest Zerg macacos that I have ever cast in my life. It doesn't matter the language, he's still a macaco. Representing his community in the left. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. It's just that this guy is so insanely macaco. It's just hard to present him. Well, he is the green Zerg, JimRising.
God, the macaco, it's spreading, mate. It's spreading. And sporting in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have his opponent, the red Zerg player hailing from the land of Peru but living in Italia. It is Ryu, the cranky duckling himself.
These guys are like, they are the top of the top. Like, I'm really happy to see how this is gonna go. As you guys can see, this is a mirror match. Both players are almost doing the same thing. Almost, I say, because JimRising delayed a little bit his drones, but these little details perhaps can reflect different intentions. I don't know. Perhaps I'm just overthinking it. it's insane how these guys can, from such little things, make so big efficient fights. I just want to see if there's any bailing battles, muralist battles. Those are like the most intense battles there are.
Exactly. Like, and especially because ZvZ is one of the matchups where JimRising can really utilize his strengths, right? Utilize those mutas that we see time and time again. But at the same time, a really interesting thing that happened in DreamHack, because we were lucky enough to cast it, was in Sham versus JimRising. Jim, in their first series, he never went for mutas. He went for roach timings, both games, and we were shocked. It was like, what? Like, what is happening? This is Jim, right? This is the muta king. What's he doing? He's not making mutas. So it's one of those things where Jim, mate, he can do anything in ZvZ, and that's why, honestly, he is one of the best in the region at ZvZ.
One interesting thing is that we are no longer in a mirror match because JimRising is making a lot of links. He made a couple links. I think he's trying to either go aggressive or try to be one step ahead of the enemy and see if he wants to go aggressive so he will be able to defend with a lot of units. Both options are there present. He's gambling like a god once again. And Ryu is trying. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make a wall. I'm gonna put an evolution.
Yeah.
And let's see what's gonna happen. You know,
So
if things go wrong, I just complete the wall. If not, there it is.
I'm worried for Jimbo, by the way, though, because you were right. He did make a lot of lings and he delayed his worker production. But I think he noticed it as well. He forgot ling speed. And it started.
Oh my god!
It started so late,
No.
so late, man. And as soon as I saw that, he's like, I'm good. I'm walling off. Like, he couldn't be aggressive at all, and because of that, he's stuck on two bases. To be fair, he's working on a follow-up, right? He's working on a +1 timing.
Yeah, but unluckily, Ryu's gonna have the perfect counter. He's doing the +1 armor. It's what you need against these types of aggression. It's just so sad to see a player fell apart because that one little mistake. This is StarCraft, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It can be very frustrating. Oh my god.
It can. Like, JimRising, he's down 20 workers, but again, he's got a lot of lings, and Ryu still doesn't know what's happening. For all he knows this is +1 range or something crazy like that. Like, he doesn't, or it could be 2-base muta. He just hasn't been able to go into the main base. He doesn't know what is coming his way. He doesn't know how little drones there are here for Jim.
Yeah, and now Ryu's desperate. He's with his links trying to move. Oh yeah, yeah, he knows it. He
He
knows about
knows.
it. The Overlord's gonna confirm this, and the wall is almost done. So probably the third base is gonna fall down to this, but he'll soon have the ability to have a lot of links himself. And let's see how much damage he's gonna do with these links.
Yeah, what's important is that Ryu, he skipped his Bailey nest, so there are no Bailings to defend, only Lings and Roaches. The wall is a wall for now, but the Queen is gonna go down!
Oh, is he gonna get the +1? Is he gonna deny? Oh, he just gets it.
Ah,
It's completed, and now the Zerlings are gonna get in. This Bane, I mean, this Zerling boss is so nice. He's killing a lot of drones. Ryu is not prepared for this. 8 roaches are gonna come up, and let's see if these units can actually kill all the. Look at the drones!
oh my god, the whole position
Oh
micro
my
is
God.
beautiful here, keeping the Roaches alive, but drones are still going down. GG gets called, and JimRising takes game number 1.
It was so insane. I mean, like this mistake was his best virtue. Like, he made his mistake look like a pro gamer play. Like, I don't know how to explain it. He just did a macaco thing and made it work.
Yeah, it's it all came together there for JimRising because as we saw, right, Ryu didn't know what was coming his way. He didn't get into the main base. He never confirmed that it was a massive link flood, and because of that, he wasn't ready for it. Eventually, he saw it and he was trying to wall off, but he didn't have a Bailey nest. He barely had an army. He was on 3 bases droning up. Like, it was in a rough place.
Oof.
Oof. And now JimRising's up in this series. Yeah. What a game number 1. As a reminder to everyone, this is not a best of 3. This is a best of 5. We're going all the way here for the grand finals, but Jim does take that lead.
Yeah, and it's gonna be an honor to present this guy because this guy from Peru representing one of the best clans. He is Ryu.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn ALE, we have the Mexican Zerg player going for some macaco moves there in game 1. But mate, that late delayed link speed, it was all planned, mate. It was all planned. He knew what he was doing. It is JimRising.
Oh, was it on purpose? Was that bit on purpose? I don't know. I think I'm just. That's gonna be a question. Please, guys in the chat, please give your opinion about this. Cause, man, what just happened? I mean, Ryu was like, "What? Are you serious? Like at this timing doesn't even exist." He made it work, man. It's what I said before this matchup. Like, he makes things that shouldn't work, he just makes them work because nobody goes for it. Like, why would you do that?
It's one of those things. We have a similar player in the Southeast Asia region called Miyamaika. I don't know if you've heard of Miyamaika.
Yes. A Zerg legend. He made parting look like a baby.
Mate, he 2-0'd Maru at WESG, mate. That's what he did. But yeah, it's one of those things where a lot of the players in Oceania, whenever they go up against Miyamaika, it's like, mate, if you play against Miyamaika, don't think, because if you start thinking, then things don't make sense, and then you don't know what you're doing, and then you fall apart. Like, you have to turn off your brain, and sometimes you gotta do the same thing against Jim, you know, like oh god, what he does doesn't make any sense, and it works anyway.
Yeah, it's just pure magic, man. I don't want to overthink it. I don't want to see explanations of why this works or not. I just want to enjoy it. Like, go for the macacada, go for the queso, the cheese. I just want to see it, man. I just cannot explain it, man. It's just too difficult.
Exactly. And with that, now we're in game number 2. We are on Blackburn. Any different? Ooh, Ryu going for the hidden Evo chamber.
Oh, no, perhaps he wants to do a payback. You know what? You link flood here. Now it's my turn. Let's see if JimRising's got the tools to perhaps make a good defense or not. I'm a little bit scared. He's taking a couple of gases, which is kind of weird. He's gonna make the Rose War. For now, he's doing the right moves to defend this. But unluckily, he won't have the third base up and running. It will be delayed. But let's see if it's worth it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. What I will say is, Cristiano, can you, in the past couple of moments, I don't know what you did, but you sound very quiet. Very quiet. Yeah. I don't know if you accidentally like adjusted your mic by accident or something, but like,
No.
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Hello? That's better. That's better. That's better.
Yeah, I think I did a mistake. I'm so sorry. I just did a macacada. After seeing him racing so many macacadas, it's just like unconsciously my brain is like, do something stupid.
Oh
I'm
my
so
god,
sorry.
it's all good. It's all good. But as you were saying, JimRising is stuck on two bases. He is going for two base roaches. Meanwhile, with that hidden Evo chamber, Ryu himself is going for his massive all-in, for his massive Ling flood. But it's a little bit different. As you were saying, Ryu, he's going for a lair. He could, even though he hasn't taken all of his gases, he could switch into mutas.
Yeah, he's going for the +1 melee, but yeah, the chances of Mutalisk is there. He's gonna get the Banelings. I think it's for safety more than commitment, and there goes the Mutalisk.
Oh boy, the roles have been reversed. Oh, JimRising was trying to catch up and take a gold base. He will get it, but it was a little bit delayed. But Ryu going for those mutas. Meanwhile, Jim, he doesn't really see anything. He hasn't scouted his opponent. But at the same time, you could argue because he hasn't seen any roaches, he can assume what his opponent's going for. Regardless, like, mate, you can't let a player get away with mutas like this. Like, this can be scary.
Yeah, he needs to make a timing push soon. Otherwise, it's gonna be very difficult to win the game. If he does not scout this, he won't have the spores to defend in time. At least if he makes some spores and he's able to finish them, he'll have received so many economical damage as he's receiving it now with this amazing link wrong by. Let's see if he's gonna be able to kill a couple queens too. This is gonna affect the production, the macro, and this is a very nice move from Ryu, because not only he's been able to kill a couple drones to kill two queens, he was also able to scout every single structure from JimRising. He knows absolutely everything, and he's gonna snipe another queen. Oh my god, that +1 is working like damn.
Exactly. The links did so much. What's important as well is that every single queen on the map for Jim is dead. And there's no spores. There's literally zero anti-air. Meanwhile, the roaches are going for a massive counterattack, but the mutas are coming out.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's too late. Let's see if JimRising, he wants to punish the third base because he knows the wall, it's gonna be more tough to break that position, but now he's gonna regret that decision. He's just going all in for the natural. He doesn't want to waste any time in the third whatsoever. Let's see if he's going to be able to kill a couple drones. He already killed all the queens. Let's see if he can also get the spire, which is also very important. He's trying to kill as many drones as possible because he knows that he needs to buy himself a little bit of time so he can get up more queens and more spores.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, all these roaches will be cleaned up, but they are still killing drones as 19 have fallen. Jim takes the drone lead, and will he be able to hold on to it because the roaches are being cleaned up at the same time? Lings went for a counterattack. The third is going to go down. 2 Lings.
Yes, those are the most two cost-efficient links that I have ever seen in my life. Because of those 2 links, now Ryu can have a chance to pull back a counterattack. And let's see if JimRising is gonna be able to defend this high amount of Mutalisk.
Exactly. JimRising, he's still sending roaches across the map. Again, he knows that he just has to keep these mutas busy for as long as possible. What do we have at home? Spores only just now started. We do have a decent amount of queens, and the mutas are still busy across the map. So it looks like JimRising should have enough time to finish up these spores.
Yeah, now he's cleaning up a lot of overlords, which is completely okay. That will be a nice move for him. But he now sees a couple roaches go in. JimRising knows that these roaches are gonna get killed. What he wants to do is to buy himself time and see if he can counterattack. Because sometimes when Mutalisk go all in into your base and try to make you damage, those roaches are gonna be able to give you the window you need to even up the damage. So nice moves from JimRising, pure experience from here.
Yeah, exactly. And they do head towards the third base. There was nothing there, unfortunately. Meanwhile, the roaches are trying to bust into the natural. Looks like they will get one drone for their troubles, but they do get cleaned up. And now Ryu has weathered the storm. He's dealt with all the roaches. Jim is still stuck on 2 bases. What is his response? He is going for an infestation pit. Oh my god.
Oh, he wants to go for infestors. That's a very interesting answer. And he does not want to risk it. He goes only for a 2-base play. He doesn't want to make a 3rd base because he knows it's gonna get delayed. And now Ryu scouts this roach counterattack. He wants to kill it once again. He has killed so many roaches with this little few Mutalisk, and I fear that perhaps JimRising is giving up too many roaches.
Yeah, like earlier on, I was fine with the roach counterattack, but this one, like, it's costly, as you're saying. Like, this is a lot of resources being wasted in roaches, and this time he doesn't get any drones at all. They all get picked off.
Yeah, and Ryu was able to drone back again because the Mutalisk gave them the time he needed to drone up, and he's making more Mutalisk now. He's going for the +2 attack. He's making baying speed. This guy is insane. He wants to go for the kill. He knows he got 3 hatcheries, so he's gonna take that advantage.
Exactly. Meanwhile, on the side of JimRising, he's working on pathogen glands, but he still doesn't have any infestors, not yet. He does have a lot of queens, and that is definitely something, I guess, but he's still stuck only on 2 bases. And Ryu, he's doing a very good job at containing his opponent, cleaning up all of this creep. But there we go, the first 3 infestors are now on the way.
Yeah, this creep is very important for the queens, so they can move from one base to another. So that's a very good job from the player Ryu, because he knows every detail in these types of game counts.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, he's playing with fire because you know what? Pathogen Glands is up. That means when these infestors pop, they will have enough energy for 1 fungal. Oh god, are they going to come out in time? The mutas, they're deep. They're here. They're in the bases. Oh.
Oh, it's so close, and let's see if he's gonna get out of the way, and that will be a nice decision from Ryu because he's gonna escape. He's also gonna deny the 3rd base. It's gonna be cancelled, and he's just in a very nice spot. He can even go for a base trade because I don't know, it's just insane how this player's been able to push back JimRising, but now he's going for the all-in. He doesn't want to play this game. He's like, you know what? If I don't win here, I won't win ever. It's all or nothing. And oh my god, the infestors are getting killed. 2 infestors died in less than a second.
Yeah.
A lot of people get a lot of damage, but I think they are gonna escape.
Yeah, and the problem is that on Blackburn, we have these slow zones. The queens are taking so much time to get into the fight. They cannot keep up with the mutas, and now the fungals were kind of wasted. Now there's not enough energy for a fungal for a follow-up with the queens.
Yeah, and now the infestors are gonna get killed. Queens, I don't think they have enough DPS to kill all the Mutalisk. He's spamming like a real god. He's using his skills, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Let's see if he's gonna be able to kill all the Mutalisk. Now the Queens no longer have the energy. There was just too many Mutalisk. GG.
GG. Ryu, he fights back, not just with +1 lings, but also with Jim's signature move. Also with the mutas.
Yeah, +2 Mutalisk. Like, oh, that's a lot of DPS.
Oh yeah. It's a lot of damage there. And now we're tied up. We're tied up here. We're going to be going into game 3. Again, this is still best of 5, so we have plenty more games ahead of us. And so far, I love how we've seen 2 or our players incorporate different styles here in the two games, right? JimRising with his own +1 timing, Ryu with his +1 timing in game 2. Now, what the hell are they going to do in game 3?
That's a very good question. I just don't know. This series is, I know it's gonna be a lot of macacadas, a lot of mind games. I'm just excited. I just want to enjoy the show because it's hard to predict. It's just impossible.
Exactly. Oh god, but this is the finals we wanted. This is the finals that we deserve here between these two players, these two titans, some of the best Zergs in Latin America. And oh my, we have our map. It is going to be on Romanticide.
Yeah, and this is very interesting. Now I'm watching JimRising stream. He looks a bit exhausted. He was like, touching his head, like, damn, that was a tough game. And I completely am. I think that any player in the world will be tired right now. Ryu and JimRising have been playing for hours, such intense games. Like, I think Ryu is a bit more with a little bit more of energy because he didn't play his series. He needs to use it as an advantage. He needs to demonstrate that he can use that energy that he saved from those matches. And let's see if JimRising has the stamina to keep up the pressure.
That's a very good point, because that's the big difference between weekend tournaments and leagues like DreamHack, where you have one, maybe 2 series a day, and that's all you have to worry about. Meanwhile, when it comes to these weekly tournaments or these weekly events, online events, like, mate, you have 3, 4 best of series that you need to work your way through back to back to back. You have very little time to breathe and recuperate between your matches.
And yeah, with that comment, man, I think that's completely true. I've been in that road. It's exhausting, but it's worth a try. And JimRising knows it. He knows that he can eat tonight. So, with no more further news, representing in the top left corner, he's the Green Zerg. I already said his name, but it's worth to say it again because damn, he's so good. The Macaco, JimRising.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have our red Zerg player. He is, of course, one of the players representing one of the best teams out there, the CranKy Ducklings, the Peruvian Zerg. It is Ryu.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit upset with your team, but not because of you, because of Neo. Neo, I wanted to see him play. I wanted to cast him, but he wasn't here. So, yeah, I'm gonna say some things to him in Spanish so that people don't understand me. Nah, I'm just kidding. But Neo, if you're to this, you gotta play warm, man. Come on, I wanna cast you any day. Come on.
Yeah, exclamation mark Funara Neo in the chats, please, people, because he should have been here. Aye, we really did miss Neo. We had a lot of good Terran games, but it would have been better if our boy Neo here, La Tortuga, would have been here to represent.
I needed that 40-minute mech player. I needed it. My blood pressure needed it.
What's wrong with you? Oh god.
Yeah, this guy always plays mech.
Look, I love Neo, but his mech is something that I put up with. I don't approve of it by any means. Shaking my head, Neo, shaking my head.
Well, this game, at least I'm not shaking my head with this game because these guys are playing completely standard. Once again, going for those 2 hatcheries. And why did I say that? No, I'm just not gonna cast anymore. Oh my god, these guys always make me suffer. Like, I say something and they the complete opposite. That's what I'm gonna say anything.
Exactly. Oh my god, 2 games in a row. Ryu once again is going for that hidden Evo chamber here behind the main base. This should be for +1 melee. Show it to us. And with that +1 melee, we're going to see once again those Lings come into action. And personally, Romanticide, I feel like that's a pretty good map to go mutas on. Oh my god, what? Never mind.
Yeah, it's gonna be a different strategy, and let's see if it's worth the upgrade. I'm just in shock right now. I don't know what's the follow-up. I'm pretty sure they're gonna use their queens in order to get that larva, get the creep spread, and the evolution saver from JimRising. I think he's gonna use it for the +1 melee. So I don't know what's coming next. Oh,
Yeah.
Roach Warren. That's an answer.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, again, this is very standard from Jim. Something important to take note of is that Jim is skipping his Baneling nest. He's going straight into those roaches. He wouldn't have had Banelings to defend against a Ling counterattack or a massive Ling flood from Ryu if he had gone for that. Meanwhile, Ryu instead is spending his gas on that lair, and we still don't see. There it is. There we have a Roach Warren for Ryu.
Yeah, he goes for a standard version of Roach. He takes the third base faster. He won't have all the gas and all the drones that JimRising has right now, but he's got the fastest third hatchery, so that will allow him to get a better transition into a late game or a mid game with aggression. So I'm very excited to see how JimRising fights against this. The third base is being denied by these Zerlings, which is a very perfect move by Ryu.
That it is. And you know what, with +1, oh my god, actually the Lings are actually going to get us around on the queens. They get 1.
Oh no, there's the chance of getting a lot of drones. And let's see if JimRising is gonna keep losing drones or not. The roaches just passed by. They say, oh, you guys are the Zerlings? Come on, you can pass in. You can kill the queen, no problem. Oh, that was so... Oh, wait, a Nidus network.
Oh my god, the queen just barely survived. Meanwhile, we have more Lings coming in. They're trying to get another queen. This time they will not. We still have Lings on the way, by the way, for Ryu flooding across the map. What's important is, as you said, can Ryu get into the main? Can he spot that Nidus?
Oh, this is intense. Now this is getting weird, because if Ryu is on the other side of the map and JimRising is able to make a full wall, he's gonna defend this so easily. He's gonna make the counter damage so damn effectively. Let's see if JimRising recognizes this.
Yeah, as JimRising is going to the Nidus. At the same time, the Lings are coming in. Oh, they are testing the waters here. They do get a nice round, but there we go. The Nidus goes up in the main base of Ryu.
Yeah, and I don't know if JimRising noticed the upgrade that the Zerlings have, but now he's gonna he's making a better wall. The Nidus comes up, he's going into the main, and let's see how Ryu responds.
I mean, we have roaches, we have a spine, but the spine is not in position. Ooh, the Lings of Jim are getting on top of the queens. One queen will go down. In come the roaches, but we do have kind of equal upgrades here. +1 carapace against +1 range.
Yeah, and now Ryu's got a lot of units. He's well positioned for this. He'll have to run and go to the third base and see if this positional difference will make a good move to kill the third base. But as you guys can see, it's very difficult for JimRising to keep up the pressure. He's not been able to use these Nidus networks in an efficient way. So... oh man, it's just too difficult. I think Ryu's got this.
That was a really rough position for that second Nidus, by the way, because Ryu was immediately on it from the high ground. He was already just doing so much damage to it. JimRising couldn't get it up and running. He has a third Nidus on the way, but Ryu is there to respond. And as you were saying before, like, JimRising, he's still on 2 bases. Like, he's pretty all in with this, and he's not making it work.
Yeah, he needs to do a move right now. He needs to do something about this, because now Ryu's getting the Spire. He's gonna have better tech. He's gonna have better upgrades. He's gonna have more drones. He's gonna have 1 more hatchery. If he doesn't make any damage, he's just gonna play from behind. And I don't think Ryu is a player that will forgive you for doing that.
Exactly. As the Overseer gets straightened away, gets pushed away, we have a massive Ling run by. A third base is on the way for Jim. Can he get it up and running though? The Lings, they get us around on the queens.
Oof, that loss was just very, very bad for JimRising.
Mhm.
Now the creep spread will not be on top of what he wanted to have. He's not gonna have also the larva injection, which is the most important thing about these queens.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just simply recognizes his position. He's gonna save up his energy for a better matchup. That's why he just leaves the game.
Yeah.
It could have been more longer, but JimRising just wants to be more use more strategy and uses his energy into this next game.
Yeah, GG. Ryu takes game number 3. He takes a lead in this series. Uno más. One more is all he needs to be this week's Copa Hyperion champion.
Yeah, let's see if it works or not. JimRising, I think he took a wise choice. It's difficult because sometimes you really want to win and you want to make your opponent feel like it's hard to beat you, but sometimes decisions like this can also favor you. So
Mhm.
it's kind of tough. I like his mindset. JimRising is preparing for this possible last game. He's gonna give up everything. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, exactly. And that game was pretty much a done deal, especially because I don't think he saw the Spire, but again, mutas were already on the way, and with the loss of those 3 queens, there was only 1 queen left on the map to defend. There were no spores, like the mutas, they were going to be the nail in the coffin anyway. So instead, he doesn't waste any time. We are diving into the next game. Oh boy, and the map has been set. It's going to be Oxide.
Ooh la la, señor Frances. Let's see if this is going to be one of the last games of the night, or if what happens if JimRising goes for a macacada and makes it 2-2. Ooh la la! I'm very excited to see that.
I want to see a 12. I want to see something crazy. Give me not just a 12 pool, give me a 12-11, you know? Like
I've seen this crazy build that they go 3 drones and they make 3 spines
Yeah.
with the 12 pool and they pull all the drones. It's just like pure all in.
Oh boy, the dream.
Let's see if we're gonna see something like this. Look, JimRising!
He's not
Oh
making
my
it.
god, he's not making drones! how am I going to present this guy? Look, the green player. I'm just gonna say his name because, man, he always surprises us. He is the macaco JimRising.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Peruvian Zerg player currently leading this series. Representing the CranKy Ducklings, it is Ryu. Currently getting 12 pulled.
Yeah, and for now, it's all good for JimRising. Hatchery first. It's what gives the 12 pull Zerg the more chances to do damage. But still, it's good for Ryu. If Ryu gets a good defense with his drones, if he doesn't lose many drones, he's gonna get an advantage. So let's see how things get done here. Perhaps Jim can give an advantage, or he can be signing his own death. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, like a 12 full isn't all in by any means, it is just merely an opening. These Lings across the map, they don't have to kill the base, they just have to trade as well as they can against these drones. Meanwhile, Ryu, it's going to be all about his drone micro, making sure he doesn't lose his workers, making sure he can buy time for his queens, for his Lings, and defend his natural.
Did he see the links with the Overlord?
He does now.
Yeah, I see that he's not reacting. I think he did not know. He doesn't know about this. He's gonna get surprised.
Oh, we'll see. The Lings, they do come in, they do start chipping away at the base. Where's the reaction here? So far, the drones haven't been pulled, and they should be. Ryu, please. There we go.
Now the drones are being pulled. Queens are starting to come up into this game. A couple Zerlings from Ryu are coming into this game also. And JimRising is doing a good job. He's keeping up the pressure. He's making Ryu pull up drones so that... And that's a very nice move because as you guys can see, now he needs to start drawing up again with the minerals. That delay is gonna let him play this game. And there's the risk of losing the hatchery. So Jin is trying to play with that. But I think Ryu just bought himself enough time to defend us the proper way. He did not lose a single drone. He did not lose the hatchery. I think it's very good for Ryu right now.
That was almost perfect defense by Ryu. Almost perfect because these lings are still trading fairly well for for JimRising, but eventually everything gets cleaned up, and as you said, Ryu didn't lose a single drone.
Yeah, the thing is, Ryu has been mining more time than JimRising. So although JimRising's got a little bit of a lead in terms of workers, Ryu's got an advantage, economical advantage, because he's been mining for more time. So now let's see if these links with speed can do anything to, more than nothing, punish JimRising's move.
Definitely, like that's the dangerous thing, right? Like Ryu, he does have link speed. He can just run around the entire army of JimRising, gets into the main, trades a little bit more efficiently there, takes out another ling, scouts everything, confirms, hey, you still haven't taken any gases, there's no lair, there's no roach horn, there's nothing crazy going on here in the bases of Jim.
Yeah, now he's just gonna leave. Oh no, he's gonna keep on scouting. I love these links because they are literally map hacking. Like you see absolutely everything, and perhaps he's gonna leave the base now. No, he's just gonna keep on doing it.
No, there's still zero gas, by the way, for Jim. Like, there's no reason not to just run around. Finally, we see the first gas geysers being taken by JimRising. Because this gas is so late, I imagine we're gonna just go straight into roaches from here. I'd be shocked if he tries to go into link speed again.
Would you imagine if he goes for Mutalisk? Oh my god, that would have been insane. But gases are not been taken from the main base, so I assume it's not gonna happen. But it's JimRising, so let's see. I want to see the Roach Warren.
Please, JimRising, please, as he tries to go for a slow ling counterattack here at the third base. This isn't really going to do too much. He's going to chip away at the third, which is nice. But behind this, Ryu, he's got his own lair on the way, his own upgrades. He's going to be able to defend, and there is that Roach Warren from Jim.
Yeah, and those Serlings are gonna get completely wasted. Ryu, once again, defending with patience, which is something that not many players have. And he does. He with a lot of patience now. He's got a third base up and running. He's got more map control, and he knows everything about JimRising. With that wall, he can see the main strategy. All he needs to do now is confirm the build and see with the Serlings if he's indeed making roaches or not. And that'll be all for Ryu. He's in a very good spot.
Yeah. Like, for all Ryu knows, once he sees this wall, it could be game one again, where Jim had late ling speed and he had +1 melee on the way, and it could just be a ling flood. So Ryu is a little bit in the dark, but he's in a really good position economically, right? As you were saying, he checks again, sees that we have double upgrades on the way. It should be for roaches. It's not going to be for Spire Tech or mutas or anything like that.
Yeah, now he confirms the presence of roaches. So it's gonna be hard to do a link flood. He's gonna take a third base now, JimRising. I don't think he's gonna leave earlier this time. He really thinks he's got a shot in this game, but it's a difficult shot, not an impossible one. He's demonstrated us in this tournament that he's able to come back from very bad positions, and let's see if he's gonna pull off the macaco once again.
Yeah, we shall see. I mean, there can be a really strong timing for Jim where all his upgrades finish up, right? That 1-1 timing could work out for him. The problem is that by the time this finishes up, like, Ryu, he's already got +1 carapace, he's working on +1 range, he's already got roaches, he has the defender's advantage. Like, it is so much more difficult to bring yourself back into the game when you're behind in a mirror matchup, just because your opponent has the same tools as you. It's not impossible, but yeah, Jim, he's gonna make some magic happen. Gotta really harness his inner macaco, you know?
Yeah, sometimes it happens in ladder. It's what happened in the game of Roro against who did he play against? I forgot.
Zions?
Yeah, he knew he was behind, that Science had an economical lead, but he stayed in the game because he thought, what happens if he makes a mistake? You never know. So uh, this time, Ryu is trying to take uh, this offensive role so he can keep up the pressure, force Jim Rising to make more
Oh,
roaches, and so he's gonna get another queen, which is completely nice. Now the larva is gonna be denied from third base. More roaches are in presence for Jim Rising, so he's gonna take a better trade out of this. But Ryu can always fall back into his base and make more roaches for the defense.
yeah, I think Ryu was baited a little bit there. He saw the queen and he went for it, but Jim Rising, he has the better upgrades.
Oh
He caught
my
the roaches and
god.
now he's catching these again. Like, Jim, he's trading so well here, forcing Ryu to fight.
Yeah, and that was such a nice trade. Now Ryu's trying to make the best out of it, and Jim Rising, on the other hand, he's trying to punish the the reinforcements. And
Yeah.
as you guys can see, it's a very even fight. It's hard to decide who's winning, but I think Ryu's gonna win it because of the reinforcements. At the other side of the map, Ryu's trying to buy time with those roaches, but now Jim Rising is starting to give his entire army into this massive attack. And wow, it's impressive. Ryu was having an advantage, and now he's got a lower supply
He
army account.
does, mate. And Jim Rising, he is pushing through. Again, it was a massive blunder for Ryu to throw away so much supply earlier out on the map. And he droned up maybe a little bit too hard there towards the end. Ooh, the queens are coming in though. The transfuses are on point, and Ryu just barely pushes Jim Rising away.
Yeah, this game is getting intense. And the drones, there were a lot of drones that were pulled off in this game. And right now, he's not being punished for it. So I think it's worth it, man. But let's see if he can survive this attack.
We shall see. We shall see. Jim, he does see the workers being transferred over. He does now know that Ryu has a fourth base. Now Jim incorporates a couple of Ravagers as well, forces Ryu to micro, forces him to try and split up and pull back. Jim Rising still has the army advantage.
Yeah, and let's see if he can take a nice concave here on the low ground. He's gonna commit, and he's got an advantage because of the creep spread. And now Ryu is gonna suffer the consequences. Those Ravagers are adding up a lot of DPS, and this fight is getting more and more intense. And I think these drones, they were not a very good decision.
Yeah, exactly. Ryu being just a little bit too greedy there. He felt forced to fight in that engagement, and GG gets called. Jim Rising ties it up, mate.
Yeah, it's what happens. Sometimes players can make little mistakes, and from those mistakes, if you abuse these factors, you can turn up a losing game to a winning game, and that's
Yeah.
what happened. Jim Rising just did once again a comeback.
Exactly. Like, oh god, it all kind of stemmed from Ryu losing all those roaches across the map in just a terrible position there, getting them all surrounded, losing them all, and on top of that, being a little bit too greedy, taking a faster fourth, droning up when his opponent was making nothing but roaches.
Yeah, I gotta give credit to Jim Rising. There was a moment in which you said like he was baiting literally Ryu to go and push further into the third base so he can surround roaches and more than nothing punish the army supply of the Zerg. So I'm really happy. I'm really happy to see that both players can always fight each other in different spots. Like, although Jim Rising was in a bad spot, he was able to come back, and I'm pretty sure Ryu can do the same thing. So it's still very hard to define who's gonna win this, and we are on the ace match.
Yeah, we made it. This is it. This is going to be the final game of the series, of the tournament. It's going to all come down to game number 5. And again, it goes to show how solid both of these players are. Jim and Ryu, they are both Copa Hyperion champions. They're both some of the best Zerg players in all of Latin America. And here we go. We have our map. A very interesting map, a very spicy potential for aggression. It's gonna be on Jagannatha.
Yeah, Jim Rising was analyzing the game. I was listening to his stream, and he said two keywords. He said, this guy loves to go Carpe upgrade,
That's
and he loves to go roaches. So he's like already trying to do a counter strategy against that specific patron that he was able to find in these matches.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And that could definitely work. Again, it's still a little bit up in the air though, just because, you know, we've seen Ryu even go for Ling Floods as well, right? And on a map like Jaganatha, like with these speed zones, with the layout, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and spawning in the top right corner, he's the Zerg player who's been able to keep it up and go into the ace match. Will he be able to eat tonight? He is Ryu.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Jaganatha LE, we have the Mexican Zerg player himself representing Timbers Esports. It is JimRising.
I love that picture from the hatchery. Like the macaco is perfect.
Oh god, shaking my head, mate, shaking my head.
It represents the style of his gameplay, and both players once again go for the hatchery. Ryu is not risking it. He's been going for that hatchery all the series. Like he's not gonna change that plan. He's very confident in playing these types of builds, and he knows that JimRising, because he already did the 12 pool, he knows he can defend, and he can defend very well. So I love his confidence.
Definitely. It's another one of those things where I said it in the previous series that we casted of Ryu. Out of all the other top Zerg players in the region, like Ryu, Eggs, the Zerg Lord, JimRising, Ryu isn't very aggressive. If he can, he will take things to a longer game, to the mid game, to the late game. He isn't necessarily one to open up with a cheese. So yeah, just going for that hatch first. Of course, because of this can be abused. But JimRising, we saw he did try to go for that 12 pool earlier. Didn't quite work. So this time we have a more standard opener.
Yeah, and one thing I love about this game right now is that both players always have the chance to take control of the map with the overlords, and both have the same opportunities of seeing what the other opponent is doing, in the sense that is he being active or passive, is he being aggressive, does he want to scout with Zerlings, or does he want to play it safe. And all those little details tell you what's happening in this game and can give you the hints that you need in order to make decisions about what you're going to do next.
Definitely. And right now the Overlords are in position to scout the third bases to see if there's any kind of move out. Ryu does slip into the main base of Jim with this slow Ling, and he will just barely get in. We'll confirm. No early gases, no early Evo chamber.
Nice, Zerling. I loved it.
Mate, it's happening.
Oh my god. Now JimRising is making a wall, which is, I think it's a good decision, but it always happens the same thing. JimRising does not get the third base, and Ryu does. And he takes more control of the map, but JimRising gets better units, and it's so hard to define who's going to win or not. Oh my god, I just want to see.
I'm worried just because Jim may be making a lot of assumptions. So you were talking about how Jim was thinking to himself, like, oh, like this guy, he loves going for a fast carapace. And that is what we saw from Ryu for the last 2 games. But now he's doing something completely different. We already saw this once in this series. He's going for that Ling Flood and potentially later on into those mutas. Jim may not anticipate this, but we'll see, because he himself also going for a fast lair. Is this just for Roach speed, or are we going to see... We're gonna see a Nidus again. Oh my god!
Yes! Yes! That picture next to the hatchery is not a casualty. That's... that... Oh my god, this is a deja vu. We're watching another Mutalisk play from JimRising, and what a way to end this series. It's gonna be his build against Ryu's build. Let's see who's better. I'm so excited.
Exactly. We may end up in a situation where we see Muta versus Muta as well, by the way. Like, that's how crazy
Yeah,
this
it's
could
gonna
be.
happen.
Yeah, there you
Look,
go.
he's got Spire. Oh my god, no.
Okay, so
If,
go ahead.
yeah, if Ryu's gonna buy, if he's able to buy himself time, he's gonna win because he's got the earlier hatchery. But if JimRising is able to punish Ryu because he's gonna have mutas first, if he's able to do damage with those mutas, it's gonna be real good for him. He's gonna stabilize and it's gonna be an even game. I'm just excited because if Ryu is able to buy himself time, he's gonna be in such a nice spot. He's gonna be very comfortable playing the game.
That he is. Meanwhile, something very important just happened. Ryu did go in with the Overseer. He actually saw the Spire of JimRising. He knows what JimRising is going for. I was about to say that Jim, he was bluffing. His bluffs were so good. I don't know if you noticed, but Jim actually started Guile and +1 range, and he canceled them. He canceled them after the Lings left. He was trying to deceive Ryu as best he could, but Ryu, his scouting was on point. He knows what he's up against. Spores are already being thrown down. Overlords are coming back home. They're trying to escape the mutas. Some of them won't make it. But we'll see how much damage these mutas can still do despite being scouted.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Serlings that their mission is to buy as much time as they can, and they're doing a good job because Mutalisks are trying to chase them so that they don't get into the third base, which is very important. If those links get into the third base, they're gonna deny the economy, and that's gonna be bad news for JimRising. Now he's got the higher supply lead because he's been able to do the units earlier, but just give Ryu 1 or 2 minutes and he'll be just in the neck of time to get the same amount of Mutalisk as JimRising is doing.
Exactly, and I was really interested to see what Ryu would do here because there were a couple of options. If he wanted to, he could go straight into Corruptors, right, and try and hard counter the mutas of Jim. But the downside of that is that Ryu doesn't have a Roach Warren, so he'd be vulnerable to like a Roach counterattack from Jim after that. Instead, he's going for his own mutas, and he just finished up an Infestation Pit. Does he want to go into Infestors as well?
That's a very interesting question. I think he wants to have it there just in case, and it also allows him to transition faster into Hive if he needs to. So I think it's not bad since he's got a lot of spores. With that, he can buy himself time to do such moves. So there goes the Hive. Yeah.
Yeah, so he does not want the Infestation Pit. He does not want the Infestors. He's not getting Pathogen Glands. With this will mean that he can go into fast Vipers and go for those Parasitic Bombs. But the mutas, they're fighting.
Yeah, and I don't know who made the better trade there, but at least JimRising is keeping Ryu back at those 3 bases. Now JimRising can even take a 4th base, but the problem now is that he does not have a Hive, and once the Vipers get into action, it's gonna be very tricky for JimRising. He'll have to micro like a god in order to hold something off.
Exactly, and there we go. The Infestation Pit is now on the way. Ooh, interesting. He's gonna switch into Hydras and Lurkers.
And he's getting the 4th base. He knows he's got the advantage. He's got the map control, and now his mission is to delay Ryu's 4th base so he can maintain that advantage. Otherwise, both players are gonna be equal, but Ryu will have an advantage in tech. So this is a very interesting strategy game.
Yeah, like I kind of prefer Jim's situation a little bit here because even though Ryu will have like the quote-unquote tech advantage with Vipers, even if Ryu wins the fight in the air, like Jim has the opportunity to tech switch into Hydras completely, and that may catch Ryu off guard, especially with how hard he's committing to Lings and mutas.
Yeah, I really want to see the result of this. Hopefully, yeah. Now Hydralisk are on the way, and if Ryu only makes Mutalisk, there could be a chance. I'm really scared because the Hydralisk DPS is so damn high.
Yeah.
It's like Marine, but the Zerg version. And I don't know how I don't know how Ryu's gonna counter this, but he's got a lot of links. Perhaps those links can tank a little bit. They can soak up a little damage, and with the Vipers, he can ensure the air supremacy. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, we shall see as the fight is about to happen. Meanwhile, thankfully for Ryu, he's working on Bailing Speed, but the Hydras are revealed. Oh god, the Parasite Bomb does connect with the mutas. A lot of the mutas are getting very low here for JimRising. Oh my god, they all go down.
Oh wow, and Ryu is having the air supremacy, like I said before, and now he's got an amazing advantage because of this tech. And yeah, that's it. Ryu just won the game. I knew that by having the high first, that technology would be so amazing. He needed so many hydralisks to make that DPS work, and Ryu hit the perfect timing. I loved him because with the Zerlings, he was able to see that he didn't have many units, so it was the perfect timing to attack. Congratulations, good game.
GG, well played there, Ryu. He was even getting ready for the follow-up. I was like, yo, even if there are Hydras, Bailing Speed was on the way, so he could get a bunch of Bailings as well to help support his mutas, but he didn't even need it. In the end, the Vipers were good enough. Jim, he was trying to split up his mutas, but it took him a little bit too long. His mutas took a lot of damage from that, and he did not have enough Hydras on the ground. Ryu took that game, took the series, and he is our Copa Hyperion champion.
Yeah, congratulations once again to the winner, Ryu, and JimRising also getting the second place. Nice job. He was one map away from winning it, so it was a very close fight. Both guys deserve all the fame tonight. They just give so many good games. Like, damn.
And it really did end the way it should, right? Like the muta versus muta, you know, like we had such a back and forth series where they were both kind of going for their own different builds, and then that's what it all kind of came down to.
Yeah, the Vipers will always win against Mutalisk. The problem was like, will the Hydras make the DPS necessary to counter the Ryu's decision? And this game, it wasn't enough. JimRising needed more time, and I think he didn't have the Hydralisk because he made a earlier fourth base. So by doing that, he wasted a lot of money and he invested a lot of time on that base to start drawing it up and stuff. So he lost a lot of larva and a lot of money that could have been possibly Hydralisk. It was the perfect timing for Ryu. He was very smart. He saw it, he took it, and he won the game.
Exactly. And that all kind of also came back down to the scouting of Ryu as well, being able to identify what Jim was doing early on so he could prepare, so he could come up with a plan and throw down that fast infestation pit that we saw, right? And make sure that he had that transition on the way, saved as many overlords as he could, got those spores up and running, and yeah, wow, what a series in the end there. And what a tournament. Like every single, I think we were lucky as well today because every single series today, they didn't necessarily go to the ace match, but they were intense. They were back and forth. They were beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, it was a pleasure to cast with you, especially this series. I thought it was gonna be a good tournament, but this was a hell of a tournament.
Yeah.
Very good games, very good games. I'm really happy. I'm gonna sleep, and I'm gonna sleep well tonight because of the game.
Exactly, like every single series, even our first one, like White Asia versus Evernest, like again, because of the skill of the players, it was so even, like it was so back and forth. Give a shout out to Zions and Rover, who were featured earlier today as well. Sinner as well, you know, very honorable mention because of how strong he looked. He could have made it to the finals. Yeah, what a day. And likewise, you know, thank you so much, Cristiano, for joining me for the first time today. I appreciate that you were able to have the time to join me and to cast in a language that isn't even your own. You know, you're a native Spanish speaker, so thank you so much for casting in English.
Yeah, and thank you for the opportunity. I had a like nice time. I usually watch your stream, so it's kind of like an honor to be here. And hopefully the guys on the chat enjoyed the casting. That's what matters. And man, this was a hell of a tournament, so I'm happy to cast it.
Yes, thank you, and I was happy to cast it with you there. Of course, the people watching, if you want to help support this tournament and these players, exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat. I believe all the codes have been used up, so thank you so much for the support. I believe there are still a couple of quests remaining, like following some Twitters or something along those lines to help boost the prize pool even further, or you can take it one step further and you can donate some of your own money as well. It's completely up to you. It's all on you if you want to do so. Regardless, the players appreciate the support. And yeah, that is the end of the tournament. Congratulations once again to Jim and Ryu for being the finalists. They are the ones who walk away with some money. They can both eat today. Just one player can eat a little bit more.
Yeah, a lot of ay 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 ga ay 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 and all those beautiful screams on the chat. Yeah, people are very excited. Yeah, I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful. Thanks for the opportunity, and thanks for letting me say "ga" in your chat. So yeah.
Ga! Oh god. And with that, we are done for today. We don't have another broadcast later on. Usually we do, but DreamHack is still going on, and we do not want to run over DreamHack or anything like that. As a reminder to everyone, be sure to tune into the DreamHack streams because the regions are still going on. Oceania is later today. Latin America, I believe, is ending either today or tomorrow. Like this weekend are going to be the finals for DreamHack Latino America. Cham just took down Kelazur. He's going to be going up against Special. Very spicy series. Everyone give them your... No, sorry. I think Kelazur is going up against Terran. Yeah, TVT. That's up next. So yeah, be sure to support DreamHack. It's the biggest tournament out there for StarCraft. ESL are doing so much for it as well. We really appreciate the support. Give them plenty of love. And with that, we are wrapping up our stream. Cristiano, do you have anything else you want to add? Do you want to let the people know, like, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Like, what else do you do outside of this? Do you stream? You know, do you compete? You know, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to use all the time that I have left because I'm vacations, and I only have one more week and I'll have to study again, so I won't be able to be active. So now I'm streaming like a madman. I'm streaming ladder. You guys can come in. It doesn't matter the language. You can be always yourself in my stream, and you'll always be welcome in my stream. You know, I only play ladder, listen to music. You can always request music and stuff. I'm a Protoss player on NA, and right now I'm playing between 5.4 MMR, and and I'm also trying to play tournaments. I'm trying to be as active as possible because there's not much time, and I love playing. So if you guys want to join, I'll be grateful. I'll be streaming tomorrow actually. So yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for everything. Yeah, there's no more words for me to say. I'm really grateful.
God, you don't have to be so grim about it. You're like, guys, I'm running out of time. It's over. It's my life is ending. Oh God.
Yeah.
Cristiano, please.
Educating yourself online, it's very stressful. So it's like, I know I have to enjoy the time I have left.
Jesus Christ. So yes, give Cristiano plenty of love. He is Cristiano66, sorry, CristianoX66 on Twitch if you want to check out his Twitch channel. He'll be streaming tomorrow. And again, if you enjoyed the broadcast, make sure you follow us on the social medias for the CranKy Ducklings. We go live almost every single day with StarCraft, whether it's North American, Latin American, Oceanic, Southeast Asian. Our next tournament that we cast is tomorrow. So, Battle of the Americas, Batalla de las Americas. That is the tournament that we will be casting here on this channel. And maybe Cristiano, maybe he'll play in it. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Pretty sure I'm gonna play it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna play it.
Okay.
I've been practicing, so hopefully I don't get cham. Please, no cham.
Yeah, not again.
Yeah, I'm traumatized. Sometimes I get to play one bracket and like, yes, I was able to beat one player. Who's next? Cham. Oh my god, was it really worth it? But I'll try to keep up the fight. Yeah.
Oh god. So yes, as you can see on the screen right now, it will be in 18 hours and 36 minutes. That is Battle of the Americas. So we will see you then. Meanwhile, thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Stay safe. Stay I was about to say something else. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. Ciao.
Yeah.
Gah.